We're going to go through really quickly because I don't want to bore you with this stuff. And I really think the other part on the other side is really important. But there are just a few details I just want to kind of emphasize for you, all right? So really quickly, we're just going to focus on a few things. One, perception versus reality, pulmonary effects. Vaping absolutely has an effect on the lungs. There was a survey they found 2,000 teens. They found those that vaped within 30 days or after 30 days were twice likely to have chronic bronchitis than those that didn't. That means there's inflammation there. That also means that even if you stop, it was beyond 30 days, there were still effects. So it's not like I can stop now and then tomorrow it's fine. There are more long-term. Lab quality control, over 7,000 flavors out there, different things in each one. You don't know what that is. People aren't really checking it when it's coming over and getting shipped in and being distributed, and we're taking those things and putting that into our bodies after we heat it up on a coil. Some say nicotine-free, so add nicotine. The other big thing, needed more long-term studies. You guys are the guinea pigs on this stuff. We know the propylene glycol vegetable glycerin. That vegetable glycerin actually creates like a slimy film of bacteria over the teeth. It can lead to things like tooth decay, just left, you know. Dentists are finding more and more teens are coming in with more and more cavities as a result of vaping. We do know that there's other heavy metal particles in there, which I'm sure you already know about, but then there's also chemical reactions. So when you have certain flavors and you mix them together, you have chemical A, chemical B, mixed together creates chemical C. Then you heat up on a coil, and what was seen as okay, all of a sudden maybe it's a little more dangerous. In fact, the majority of vapes had certain bacteria and fungus found in them, which can lead to things like asthma, reduced lung function, stuff like that, kind of gross. I thought this was really interesting because sometimes you think, well, yeah, but I have my immune system, I can fight off any of those diseases. What they found is two things, propylene glycol and vegetable glycerin, just those two things, the main ingredients. All the way down your airway, you have these little hairs called cilia. The whole point of cilia is when you have crap in your lungs you don't want there, it brings it up so you can cough it out. This stuff goes over it, so that stuff just stays in the lungs. The second thing, you have immune cells. Powerhouse of the cell, mitochondria, powerhouse of the cell. Propylene glycol actually attacks the mitochondria within those cells, so now these immune cells can't fight off the diseases that they would normally do. What this means, you get sick, not even realize until it's happening and it's too late. Like Claire Chung here, 19 years old. She'd been vaping for a couple of years. Then all of a sudden one day she just woke up, felt really crappy, right? Just like, Really important. No shortness of breath, no coughing, no wheezing, no chest pain. Just felt like body aches, fever, just bleh. She went to the doctors. They did an x-ray and they did what's called a CT scan. It's like 1,000 x-rays to get a close picture of what's happening there. You want to see mostly dark like this. This would be more of a normal one. This was hers, front and back. All of that white is actually scar tissue. Irreversible damage. See, what ended up happening with her is whatever was in her vape, whatever the chemicals were, she inhaled and it heated up on a coil and it went down into the lungs and it created acid burns throughout her lungs. She didn't know. Like, again, no shortness of breath, no coughing, no wheezing. That's when people are like, I don't feel any different. You're not going to. You're not going to be walking around and like, ah! People aren't going to keep doing that in that case. But it doesn't mean that nothing's actually happening on the inside. We got to think about that. She had no idea until it got to this point. I don't feel any different. Again, you're not going to. Keep that in mind. Beyond the physical cost, you also have the financial cost, pot a day habit, $18.25, but then you add in other factors too, the additional costs. You know what the average smoker spends or wastes per lifetime? Because you have to think about opportunity cost. Because if I take this money and I invest this money instead, that money keeps on making more money, then that money keeps on making more money, and all of a sudden that grows. And you're wasting other money on healthcare and stuff like that too, additional bills as a result of. You know what the average smoker spends or wastes per lifetime? Somewhere between $1.4 to $4.7 million. Some states, depending, it might even be higher. That's the craziest part.